I hate to break the fishing news after Chuck, but I'd like to speak about the ice hockey.
Congratulations, you're one of the 13 listeners of the Real Life Podcast.
We just traded a migraine in for like an orgasm.
Might want to mark that down.
Yep. All of my projects are on schedule until they're not.
A member of the Nation Network of Podcasts.
About as funny as we're going to get today.
Pat, we're going to have a very interesting hour here.
Yeah, it should be fun.
We've got a skeleton crew.
Yeah.
Only Wanye and I and Pat.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's all we need.
Jay gone.
My mind is telling me no.
Chalmers gone.
But my ears are telling me yes.
We were supposed to have Chalmers hosting the show while Tyler was away.
Yeah.
And now he's gone.
Undependable.
So we've been left up to our own devices.
Mm-hmm.
We should make for an interesting hour.
Is he working today?
I don't know.
Oh,
I still find it amazing that he builds houses in flip-flops.
that is true.
That's all you need.
You know, when you're over in Asia and sometimes you see things, you go, that doesn't compute.
Like the power grid?
Yeah. Or like when they're working on said power grid, wearing fake Ray-Bans as their eye protection. That reminds me of Chalmers building houses in flip-flops.
When we were building Blue Chicago, Chalmers showed me that you can do it with no proper foot gear. So I was like ripping off nails and flip-flops and shit. And one day some sort of inspector came and was like, hey, you shouldn't be up on that ladder not wearing closed-toed shoes at the app. And I filled out a report that Chalmers was my boss and gave it to him. And Chalmers was not my boss. I was just like, Chris Chalmers told me I was allowed. And they're like, okay, well, we'll file it at HQ. But, you know, you're supposed to not be wearing sliders. He invented working in sliders.
I wish I could build anything.
You can build stuff.
I can't build
What's
anything.
preventing you from building stuff?
Skills.
You seen those guys who can dig a hole in the ground in the jungle and put a hot tub in it?
Yeah, but I heard that was fake.
Well, I'm sure everything's fake. You could be that guy. What can't you build?
I could dig a hole.
You could build whatever you wanted with enough YouTube tutorials.
That is true. I think of how dumb I would be without YouTube. It's very dumb is the answer.
I'll never forget my brother-in-law came to the little brick yard and I had how to cut down a tree open on my phone on Google with a running chainsaw in my hand. He was like, nope. And he took my phone away. Said, you are not supposed to learn that on the fly.
One time I was out at my sister's lake lot and my brother-in-law handed me a chainsaw. I've never operated one, mind you. And he goes, we got some trees to take down. You in? I go, I don't think that's a good idea. There's a science to cutting down a tree, I feel like. And I had no YouTube.
One time, Gregor and Jay and I went out to the Gregor farm, which is sold. Gregor's mom sold her farm.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, 50 years they've lived there.
Even the cows.
The whole thing. But we cut down a tree, and while we were cutting it, it broke in half, halfway up. And like we were all standing in a line, and this tree damn near clobbered all three of us and killed us all. And Gregor and I dove to the side, and Jay just went like this.
Like,
and
that's gonna
afterwards,
stop it.
Gregor admonished him like he's rarely been admonished, being like,
Yeah.
what the fuck were you doing trying to put your arms up as a giant
It's like
tree
a
was
judo chop
Yeah.
on the tree.
Jay's like, I don't know, I froze.
I feel like I'm a freezer. Are you a freezer, Pat?
I feel like I'm a runner. Like I'll dive out of the way.
I feel like I'm a freezer.
I dove.
I don't know for sure, though. I've never been in that situation. I don't know what I would do.
One time I was at my friend's house and his little brother popped out of a closet and he'd been hiding in there for like 20 minutes while we were playing board games and screamed and yelled. And I dropped on all fours and froze. That's the only time in my life I've ever felt it. But I was literally so scared I froze in place.
I like videos of when people pop out of like garbage cans to scare their friends or whatever, and they turn around and sock them in the mouth. I wish I was the sock them in the mouth guy.
I wish
think
Chalmers was here to hear this story, but he would remember the story. One time we were all at the bar and I went home early. This is when I lived at my parents' house and got into bed in the basement. And Chalmers brought a crew home from the club unannounced and tried to jump into bed with me. And I cold cocked him right in the face lying down. Like I was asleep on my side and he jumped in bed. And I went pow and punched him out of the bed. But that's not nearly as funny without him here.
Yeah. He's a little guy too. Get to swing down.
Not in spirit, man.
No, definitely not in spirit. He's the biggest man I know.
That's the thing about Chalmers is he may not be the tallest man in the room, but based on aura, I have never in my life considered him to be diminutive.
I actually think that you guys have blessed me in a way with bringing Chalmers into my life. He and I have had some ridiculous evenings. And that's now Chalmers. That's not even young Chalmers.
Yeah. Well, he's like LeBron James. He's as good in year 23 as he was in year 1. You know what I mean? The Great Stone Age.
That is weird about LeBron.
He's on the good PEDs. He has a blood boy.
Does he have a blood boy?
He has to.
Do you know about blood boys, Pat?
I don't.
Tech executives will have a blood boy who will...
Peter Thiel was the rumor, right?
Cycle their blood into their arm. So the blood boy eats healthy, Stays young.
Oh, okay. I may have seen, it was one guy who was trying to like live as long as he possibly could.
$2 million a year on.
Yeah. Okay. I've seen that.
If you were
Yeah,
going to
no
pick
thanks.
if you're going to pick a blood boy at HQ, who would it be?
Probably Liam.
You think Liam's the most healthy?
I think so. Eats
All
a
right.
lot of bananas.
He does eat a lot of bananas.
Does love bananas.
Who else though? You know?
I watched Waz crush a half a sleeve of saltines.
Is that what you're going for though?
Would you trust Wazzo to make good decisions for your blood? I wouldn't.
Well, you saw the snacks he bought at the dollar store, haven't
Too
you?
salty. Yeah, it's terrible.
So on Better Late Than Never, a listener, Colleen Bomber, sent in, who listens to the show as well. He sent me $20
That's nice.
because I was just kind of like spitballing ideas.
How do you send you $20? Fax? How do you how'd you receive the
facts.
money?
Well, Western Union, of
I
course.
see, of course.
And he said, so I was just kind of like spitballing ideas. And I said something like, I think it'd be hilarious to send Waz to the dollar store with some money to pick up snacks for HQ. So Kyle the Embalmer funded the idea.
Kyle the Embalmer. Why is he Kyle the Embalmer?
He is actually an embalmer.
He touches the dead?
Oh yeah.
I see.
Yes.
That's money that you got, that $20.
Robbed it from somebody, probably.
He earned that money by touching dead people.
Arguably.
You cannot fuck that $20 up. That's a big spend.
Yeah. So we sent Waz to the dollar store and I got him to wear a microphone while he was doing the shopping. So my plan was on yesterday's episode of Better Late Than Never, I was just going to play the raw audio, the 15 minutes of audio. What an adventure hearing him pick those snacks. Arguably the worst
Is he
podcast
thinking
I've ever
aloud
done.
or what?
Oh, yeah, of
The
course.
worst podcast I've ever done.
He's thinking out loud. He's putting things back. He's taking things. He's doing the mental math in his head.
Yeah.
He spent $19.92.
In a 7-Eleven? Where was he?
A Dollarama.
I see.
So if you don't know, the snacks we've got outside, box of saltines, some of the worst freeze-dried mangoes I've ever put in my mouth, brownies that are probably going to preserve all of our bodies from when they dig us up in 3,000 years. So anyway,
There's a bunch of extra shit out there though too.
yeah, that's all the stuff that he bought from the dollar store.
Amazing.
He bought this weird drink that has aloe vera in it. I thought you put that on your skin when you get sunburned.
You do, but you can also sunburn the inside. So you got to have that cooling agent.
That makes sense.
You wanted some weird off-season orders for Waz? I was
Yeah.
thinking about this after you kicked that off because I love off-season content.
Off-season content's fun, man.
Here's what we should do. Have you ever seen those things where they start with a paper clip and they keep trading up until they get a sailboat?
Oh,
You know
yeah, of
those
course.
projects.
Yeah,
Why
yeah.
don't we do one of those?
Well, remember we started that. That's how we got that accordion once upon a time.
Well, yeah, you're right. Whatever happened to that accordion?
Chris, the intern, got a job at Fountain Tire.
And so what? He just took the accordion with him?
I think we gave the accordion away. We traded it for something, but I don't remember what it was.
That was his parting gift from the nation after 6 years of service. We
Yeah, we gave him an accordion. And now he's like an exec. He helped us get an ad deal. He's a businessman, man.
Too much, Chris. You've ascended too high, too quick. You've flown too close to the sun.
Still
Let's
an
get
intern to me.
Waz to start with an alley sweep, going up and down the alleys of Riverdale until he finds something in the garbage of value. And then let's use that to start kicking off trading up. And let's sell Riverdale garbage to nation readers
Yeah, I'm in.
and then trade up with it. And Waz will be like, well, that baby carriage I found with 3 wheels on it, I sold for $3. And now I've got $3. And then we'll send him on his way to do something.
I think it's a great idea. If there's anybody I would love to watch do it too, it's Waz.
He's got some peculiar theories.
He's got some great theories. He's got great ideas.
I think he could back alley shop until he found like an old stool we could make him paint or something.
I've made 6 years of Instagram content from shit I find on the side of the roads.
Have you ever taken anything back with you when you go on those journeys? Because I see you finding all sorts of great stuff.
The only thing I've ever taken that I've actually found in the wild is stuff that my dog will play with. Like if I find a basketball, I'll bring it for my dog. He loves basketballs.
I remember one time Jay and I were at his mom's like house or townhome or whatever. And so they had like a shared garbage and we'd throw something out. His mom asked us and I went to the garbage and I saw, and this is like 2008, a DVD player still in the box.
Hell yeah.
I went back in the house. I was like, Jay, there's a DVD player out there still in a box next to the shared garbage. He was like, no way. We both went and stared at it for like 3 minutes. I was like, I'd really like a DVD player. It's one of those ones that had a little TV on it.
Sure.
That was the house DVD player for 8 years thereafter. You can find good stuff dumpster diving.
I traveled with one of those for a year and a half. It was my saving grace with my fake knockoff DVD copies.
You were watching knockoff DVDs in Asia on one of those?
Yeah.
That's good living.
It was great living.
Just the short window between the internet and DVDs, hey?
Yeah.
Where you're like, you can get data, but you have to put it on a disc.
What do you got at your house? You got a DVD player at your house?
No DVD player. I did actually find one of those portable ones that you're talking about because I was in between like a move and I was trying to decide if I was going to get rid of it or not. Because I was like, this could be useful at some point.
What point do you think that is?
I don't know. That's the problem.
These streaming services, I don't trust this shit, man. If you want to own something, you got to buy that DVD.
The worst part about the streaming services is when they get rid of something I want to watch.
And
the licenses expire or whatever.
Amen. I got lots of old DVDs. Probably
200 DVDs in the crawl space of my house. But they've been sitting there for a decade.
I, number one, think they'll come back and like vinyl.
Kind of like when like cassette tapes come back.
I think so.
Yeah.
I think people like having the tactile, tangible.
Our lives are getting less tactile.
You want to blow your own mind right now? I was talking about this the other day. Think about if the nation, for some reason, closed tomorrow.
Okay.
What physical evidence of us doing this for 17 years beyond nation gear is there?
That daily face-off sign that's right beside you.
Honest to God, think of all the articles, all the content,
if it was just all gone.
If it turned off, there's very little evidence beyond nation gear that we ever existed.
Yeah. So what you're saying, I think, is that I should waste all of our paper printing off hang on now, I've got this. The 4,040 articles I've written at OilersNation.com.
I think we should go further.
Go ahead.
We should order 9,000 binders, rent 50,000 square feet of space, and hard copy every post, every tweet, a transcript of every fucking article. We need to get a new WAS and put them in charge of the binders. The binders need to be color coded, and we need to do it across the network.
Be like a nation museum of sorts.
And we'd be like, oh, I'm sorry, what did you tweet? Let me just go check the binders. And then you're in there for like 45 minutes trying to find the right binder.
With the Dewey Decimal System. Mm-hmm.
How many tweets we have? 130,000?
Oh, plenty.
You know how many binders that would take?
Oh, all the binders.
All the binders.
All the binders.
Hard copy.
I want a binder full of beef jerky, Pat.
Oh, that would be nice.
Start of the podcast brought to you by our friends at Wilhock Beef Jerky. Only the finest of the finest tasting meat products end up with the Wilhock name. Made from 100% pure Alberta beef, Wilhock Beef Jerky is aged, seasoned, marinated, and smoked to savory perfection. Wilhock Beef Jerky gladly fills orders of any kind. Find their jerky, sausage, and other products exclusively out of the Luke, Spruce Grove, and West Edmonton Mall kiosk locations. For more information, visit wilhockbeefjerky.com.
Was it a slow pitch tournament this summer?
Mm-hmm.
And that's going to sound a little weird, but some random guy was just handing out beef jerky to people under a tent because it was hot. And he was just asking if anybody wanted one. And I had a piece and I just thought to myself, this has to be Wilhock because I'd never tasted anything like that before.
Was it?
And I asked him. Yeah, sure enough. It was Wilhock. And it was out in Fort Saskatchewan. I knew it right away because everyone always talks about exactly how moist it is and how it was unreal.
I was driving out to a kind of like a family reunion out in Clyde, Alberta last weekend. Grabbed myself some beef jerky for the road. Not Wilhock beef jerky. Shit.
Not Jack Links.
It was, I might have been.
Sir, we were sumo jerky. Why are you eating Jack Links?
So I got gas. I grabbed jerky. I grabbed a coconut water.
Links.
Yeah, it would have been Jack Links then. Awful. Garbage stuff by comparison.
They say it's human meat.
Might be.
Don't sue us, Jack Links.
That's why I got the taste for it. That's why what we'll find in the alley is Waz dead and me feasting.
Some Walking Dead shit.
Is that show still on? I gave up after season 2.
Dude, I tried to watch the Marvel Universe of Walking Dead shows that they rolled out because I got them all on this stick I got.
Sure.
All the shows.
Yeah.
Fear the Walking Dead got like 6 seasons. And I remember watching a season of it back in the day and being like, this is fucking garbage. And now I'm like, it's 2024, Wanye. Your standards have gone to shit because there hasn't been a good movie made other than Top Gun in the last 6 years. So let's rewatch it with the low expectations of 2024. It's so terrible. There's Walking Dead in the water or something where they tried to make a prequel to it.
Water zombies?
In a submarine.
Submarine zombies.
It only got 1 season because like, where do you run on a fucking submarine? You're like, I'm going to shut the door. Uh-oh, zombie behind me. Like
they're kind of like Fast and the Furious-ing it.
Wow. Then they made a Michonne and Rick new one.
Okay.
Where they're like, I think they're in New York or something like that.
On the move.
Horrific.
Yeah, that's no good. I tapped out of the second season. It was all the same to me. I didn't expand into the universe.
It's exciting when the zombies are chasing you. I don't really like horror movies, so it was really scary for me, like watching things like heads explode, and I got a little thrill out of all the jump scares and shit. but it becomes about the people. I want to be about the zombies. I just want them running away. I don't want them starting little villages and shit. That's boring.
Now I'm trying to think of what the best movie that I've seen recently is, if it's not Top Gun.
Ghostbusters?
Ghostbusters was good. I liked it. I mean, it wasn't a huge movie, but I really liked the Blackberry movie.
Yeah, that was good.
That was a good one. Pat, you got any ideas? Best movie recently?
Well, it's not a recent movie, but I've watched Guardians for the first time recently. I thought that was pretty good. Like the series.
I think I'm over superheroes.
Yeah, but I'm not much of I'm not like a comedy guy. Gotcha. So I don't like thrillers or scary movies really. So my selection is very small.
What do you watch then?
Honestly, I don't watch any TV shows, anything. I'm behind so far on all. I
behind implies you want to catch up. I think you've checked out.
I don't really. I have Netflix and I just watch Brooklyn Nine-Nine on repeat because I just use it to fall asleep basically.
I gotcha. You're like Tyler in that way. If you room with Tyler, he is watching The Office or something.
Yeah, I'll maybe watch
My
Office
little cousins do that, Tyler, you little bitch.
I would prefer nothing.
No noise at all?
Zero.
This is where I know that I'm becoming more and more insane because I listen to... So Wanye Jr. has a noise machine and it's rain.
Yeah.
And it's actually very soothing.
Yeah.
So then I started listening to YouTube channels that are like 12 hours of rain. So I put that on. But now it's also summertime and it's hot as hell. So unless I'm rocking a fan and rain noise now, I have a difficulty sleeping.
Me missus has a noise machine and she always puts rain on. And I can appreciate the rain.
It's nice.
It is nice.
Little thunder.
Yeah.
The amount of people who have YouTube channels dedicated to this shit tells me there's something in the human condition about sleeping with rain and some shit.
There's some stuff on YouTube that I just don't understand. Like the ASMR trend. I don't get it at all. I don't want to hear you quietly eat a pickle. Grosses me out.
What are you, some kind of loser? You don't want to participate in society? You don't like
No, I don't.
Pickle eating?
I don't. I want to go live out in the woods like Henry David Thoreau in a cabin with no electricity.
See, I would rather watch a 3-year construction project condensed into 8 minutes of a guy living in the woods. I'm like, I'm with you, but I'm with you for 8 minutes, but G.
That's all I'll give you.
He's like, I lived in the woods for 4 years and somehow made this video and the time lapse. I'll even fast forward that.
I do love a good time lapse.
I love a good montage. I love me a good time lapse.
Of course.
4 hours worth of work condensed into 30 seconds. I'm with you.
What are you watching on YouTube, Pat?
Well,
don't say Brooklyn Nine-Nine highlights.
No,
bloopers from Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Mostly just like us, or like if I have to, like you said, you
just watch our content.
Why not?
Good for you.
I watch a lot of Nation content.
That I got to know what's going on, right?
Yeah.
All right.
But yeah, mostly just like if I need to learn something, and I've also found that maybe this is a bad thing, but I watch a lot of YouTube on like 1.5 times speed. Because you can get like an 8-minute video in like 6 minutes and you can hear them perfectly fine.
Interesting.
I just rip YouTube videos out now.
Really?
Did that.
Yeah. Or like sometimes you can get away with 1.7. Like you go to watch like a how-to and the guy just sits there and he's like, so first you got to do this and then this. So you toss it on 2 times and you're through that thing. No problem.
I dedicate this video on how to unclog a drain to my late wife, Charisse. You're like, no. Let's go.
Let's get to it. Yeah.
Let's get to the end.
That's like the joke about recipes where you have to read a whole journey on somebody's life before they get to the recipe on making a frittata.
But sometimes they're like, skip to 5 minutes for the recipe. You're like, yep, thank you.
YouTube's better than any channel.
YouTube, without a doubt, is the greatest website on the internet.
Yeah.
Not close. And now that I've got, I guess it's a couple years ago, I bought that smart TV. Now I got YouTube on my TV.
Yeah.
Game changer.
Yeah.
I cannot wait until more shows migrate to YouTube, which I think is coming. And then I can just get rid of all cable. I don't want it, but I also don't want to have more streaming services than I already have.
Oh man.
Then it's just cable repackaged in several different little chunks.
I've talked about this, but the stick that I've got currently, the hacked out stick that's showing me all the Paramount Plus and Hulu and all this shit, I can now tell you it is all shit.
Oh, it's all shit.
All these streaming services are shit.
Yeah.
I'm shocked. Like Paramount Plus, what the fuck am I watching? Simpsons. Well, that's not like that's old content. All these new shows, man, they're horrific. All these movies on Amazon are horrific.
Amazon Prime does have a lot of junk.
Fucking terrible. There's the odd John Krasinski, Tom Clancy, like the leaderboard of what they want you to watch, but like it falls off quick.
Outside of, I'm just trying to think of, I watched The Boys on Amazon Prime. I know I said I don't like superheroes, but they're kind of evil superheroes, so I kind of like it.
Man, I don't know what this is.
They're evil superheroes. They've got huge egos. They think humans are toys, like the whole thing. It's very fun.
Okay.
I've got my Celine Dion documentary I want to watch.
She's coming back.
She's going to made $2 million to sing one song to start off the Olympics.
And then she's doing a Vegas residency.
Is she?
Yeah. They've like
back to Vegas.
They've managed to get her back in singing condition. Have you seen that documentary, man?
No, it's been in my queue for a long time.
She has a seizure in it. And it's like
they show it?
Yeah, man. She insisted. It's like 6 or 7 minutes of just showing what she goes through. And she got like a team with her and like helpers and stuff like that. But she insisted they leave it in so the people can see what people with this disease go through. And like, man, she's a real brave person. So many celebrities are so manufactured. They want to look perfect all the time. That documentary, I give her credit for putting that out. And how the fuck she was able to get herself into a residency and singing at the Olympics again. Like you see her getting serenaded by her fans in Paris.
Yeah, I've seen the video.
They're singing. Like I love Celine Dion, man. I love this lady.
She's a treasure. I do love music documentaries. I talked about that one. I watched the one on TLC. Fascinating. Mm-hmm. Loved it. Mm-hmm. Started one on Lou Pearlman last night. A little darker.
You had a good day on the internet reading about all the excitement of the Oilers fans. So you backed it up with a Lou Pearlman documentary.
I suppose we should talk about it a little bit. I don't know that I've seen Oilers fans as united as they were yesterday, except when they were
10 days ago.
Yeah.
United on the polar opposite of what they think now.
It was a weird day on the internet yesterday. The 7:30 news dump.
I was live on X or whatever we're calling it, paypal.com.
Yeah.
28 seconds after the Oilers tweeted it out. And my first thought was, it's 7:28 in the morning. Why the fuck are they announcing this so early? And then I go look and everyone's social media is turned off. And then you're in there with the highest ratioed comment in the history of the Oilers IG. Rest in peace to the social admin. You got that up so fast. I was laughing at that. What a horrible fucking day for Oilers fans, man.
It was a weird one.
What the hell?
I don't understand why they invited the noise into what was a very positive space.
We talked about this on Wanye's World, recording it right before this. We had a really long chat, Rick and Kennedy and I, about it. I thought it was fairly interesting.
What was Rick's take?
Well, Rick's like, we're the team of second chances.
Really are.
Starting with Mac T. And if you're not going to give people second chances, you would deny the Oilers and Craig McTavish a well-deserved second act in his life. I thought that was an interesting point.
It really is. It's kind of the land of misfit toys almost.
I'm of the mind that something this triggering for people, there had better be an insane upside to bringing this guy aboard.
Absolutely.
Like he better engineer some sort of crazy fucking deal, because if he's a run of the mill GM and we have this much dark clouded, like this team was one period away from winning the cup.
Yeah.
I don't see why we need to bring this guy in, man.
That was what I said a bunch of different places. I just don't see how there was not a comparable candidate without the baggage.
Yeah.
I don't buy it. Because if you ask, like we were talking about this before we started recording, like if you ask Chicago fans, he was not the GM that led them to those cups.
Yeah, Dale Talon.
He just inherited the club. Kind of like what he's doing here in a way. Like you said, the Oilers were 2 goals off from winning the Stanley Cup final in Game 7. Just weird decision.
Most people's lives are impacted by sexual assault in some way, shape, or form. And when you have something like this, it just triggers people en masse for what's happened to them, what's happened to their friends, what's happened to the people in their lives. And even if it's not about this particular person or the Chicago Blackhawks, it's just such a triggering event. I just don't understand. Like bringing Jake Virtanen on a PTO, man.
Yeah, it made no sense.
What the fuck? For the upside of a fourth line winger, like there's 100 Jake Virtanens you can go.
That's why I really like the article that Gregor wrote today on the website. Stan Bowman said a lot of the right things that you'd probably want him to say in that moment in the presser. But like, talk is cheap. You got to do something. And I think that Gregor kind of hit the point you said, where a lot of people probably looked at that decision and they had their own experiences really negatively affect them yesterday with what the organization they choose to cheer for did. It's very short-sighted to me.
There's people I saw on Twitter that were like very good Oilers fans who are clearly have other things going on in their life, and this triggers it for them.
Of course.
The idea that somebody who's complicit in something like this or participating in something like this can not only keep their jobs, but thrive. And I think that that's something that a lot of people have a really hard time coming to grips with. And I don't understand why it's not necessary, man.
It really wasn't necessary. And that's why I think that, so I was live tweeting the press conference as I always do when I get the chance. And that's why the one comment that I'm trying to find it here that really blew up was when I wish I could remember who asked Jeff Jackson. He goes, "Are you all concerned about what the fans are going to think of this?" And he kind of said, they're allowed to have their opinion. I think fans are entitled to their opinion. They have opinions about firing coaches and making trades. I think the decision to bring Stan in is in the best interest of the organization. Give him a chance. I'm not worried about the reaction. But then why did you go private on all your socials?
Because he's not telling the truth.
That's exactly it. So to have that comment,
because he's not telling you the truth.
To have that comment be the one that kind of like blew up was pretty telling to where Oilers fans were yesterday. And like, if you go on their social, I don't know that I've ever seen like a team post get ratioed like that before.
Oh, and they left a lot of it up.
Well, what are you going to do? Delete it?
They could have limited their comments.
I'm surprised, like on Instagram, I'm surprised they opened comments at all.
I agree.
I was very, very surprised about that. Again, shout out to the admin who has to read all that shit, because fuck, what a dark day on the Oilers internet yesterday. And it wasn't just like other fans jumping in. Oilers fans were just kind of united on it. It was a wild day. Wild day, Pat.
Well, and we've kind of been talking about it as a potential for weeks, and we knew already the reaction from the fans was going to be negative, and so did they. So you'd think they would take that into somewhat of a consideration. Obviously, they want to do what's best they think for the organization, and if they think that's him, then they're probably not going to change that just because of the fans. But I mean,
you will never be an organization of the highest caliber unless you consider your fans to be a stakeholder.
Yeah.
You just won't, man.
No, I agree.
Like, I don't know. They're going to get worked up. They're allowed to have their own opinion. That's not partners. We're not partners on this, Jeff Jackson. Maybe this is how we do it at Wasserman.
Yeah. I don't know. It was a weird day. Like all the goodwill from July 1st onward just kind of felt like it went.
Did you?
For what too? Like, fuck.
Yeah. And did you watch it? You obviously watched his presser and whatever after. Did it change your opinion? I haven't had a chance to watch it all, but a lot of people are saying like, oh, once you hear it, he kind of explains himself. But I just don't know if I can see how he would.
Like, I watched it. I transcribed it. I think, like I said, I think he said all the things you'd want to hear in that moment. But for me, it doesn't change the fact that there had to be another candidate that was perfectly suitable for that position.
Mm-hmm. I don't think, like, talking about it and like, did he say the things he wanted to say? Sure. Like, I don't think he's going to go up there and be like, I thought it was fine. Like, he's going to have his talking points, right? Yeah. But I just think, like, if you're the Oilers, just keep sailing, man. We don't need to stop here. We don't need to have this bullshit. We don't need to have something so contentious that Jeff Jackson, the current king of Edmonton, has to make his social media private. Why don't we just avoid this fucking hornet's nest?
That's exactly it. Like,
if they were like, you want him or Keith Gretzky? I bet you the vote would have been like Keith Gretzky to the Hall of Fame before they accept this dude.
It would have been extend Ken Hall. It would pick literally anybody else.
You think?
Maybe not literally anybody, but like, I think that fans would have been way more open to so many countless other people and embraced it too. I don't know.
This is I love the Oilers, bless their hearts, but they're constantly shooting themselves in the foot for no reason.
They're like that their Eric Andre meme, you know what I mean? Where he shoots the guy in the seat and then goes, "Why would you do this?" That's the Oilers all the time.
It's like the bloody Bobby Nix burger. Like, it's just why? Who is so tone deaf making these fucking decisions?
What, you mean you don't see execs from other team naming burgers after themselves?
It's a lighthearted thing that was meant, I'm sure, to like throw it in as like it just comes off as megatone,
especially when it's $40 or whatever.
Megatone.
Fuck.
Holy fuck. Well, there's good news on the horizon though, boys. I'll tell you this much.
What is it?
Our royal wedding is this weekend.
It is this weekend. I was just running through Lauren Kyle's Instagram.
LK1?
Starting with the team yoga and the matching sets.
My fucking God.
What a wedding this is.
It's an Olympic event, it seems like.
It's a decathlon of wedding.
Yeah.
Here's why I love it.
Go ahead.
I'm a big fan of WAGs. Okay.
Of course, sure.
The British or English soccer team. they have a big WAG thing where they get together at the World Cup, they take a photo, and then you get to see the updates. They all got book deals, plastic surgery, and they hate each other. Love it. Love Real Housewives of Orange County, New York. Love the cattiness. Love all this.
Sure.
Live for it, in fact. The Oilers aren't like this. The WAGs under Lauren Kyle, they are a united group. Remember the playoffs? They showed them hugging and dancing in the one box, and everybody's hugging and kissing.
Yeah, of course.
Like
They're having a great time.
You will never fucking see this on a team.
They've all got the matching jackets.
Made by LK1 in the team, right? She's the head queen bee. There's a difference between a princess and a queen. A queen can rule without the king. Lauren Kyle, why I love her so much is that like she's not doing this wedding to be rich and to flex on people. She's not going to bring in Rihanna and Bieber like that super Indian wedding that went on for 7 months or whatever that.
Yeah, that's cool.
Lauren Kyle is living her best fucking life, and I love her for it. And the fact that she showed a photo, she has 7 dresses ready to go for this weekend, all on hangers. I love it, man. She's a creative force, and she lives like, Camelot, that whole, like with the Kennedys.
No.
When the Kennedys came to power, Camelot was where King Arthur lived back in the days, like a fictional land where he's the king and blah, blah, blah. And the Kennedys came to office and they had their own photographer team. And they had this like shiny version of life in Washington. And JFK sitting beside the Oval Office desk and John Jr. is hiding under the table. And it's Camelot. It's a fictionalized world. And I feel like Lauren Kyle has created this. Like, I feel like she's living in this amazing world. Like, how many trips to Europe did she take with the gals to pick out everyone's dresses? Like 3 or 4.
Oh, they were on the PJ all the time.
And they got the big table done up and the moms are there. And like, I don't know, man. It's cool. I like Lauren Kyle. If she hated Edmonton, she would have a bigger impact on our roster than the new GM. But the fact that she's doing her best and she's living her best life and she's doing it from here, I love her.
Also, I
celebrates the
with Lauren Kyle. I also appreciate that she set up roots in the city as well.
That's what I mean. She's not like she has her own company. She's doing her own thing. She has her own company with her own sign on the building on 124th Street, one of our main drags. I haven't seen Oilers have this much impact on the community and try to put down roots as much as this lady has.
I wonder how much we're going to see come out of the wedding. Like, I wonder what the protocol will be at the McDavid wedding.
They're not doing this for fame, which I respect. They're not.
That's what I mean. Like, what's going to come out?
A magazine there.
I'm even just talking about on socials.
But like, what's the coverage? Maybe OK Canada's there for $1 million. I don't know.
I'm going to be, because that's this weekend, I suppose, right?
Indeed it is.
So I'm curious to see what kind of comes out on socials. What do we get to see? Do we get to see Connor doing a little boogie with the boys? That's what I want to see.
It'll all be her Insta stories. That's all we get.
Because I think about one of the articles that I wrote that really knocked the most in the off season was when Jordan Eberle got married and all the boys were up there singing Wagon Wheel. And that came out on socials. Erupted. I want to see what's this year's version of Wagon Wheel.
Yeah, again, like I don't see Connor having a particularly fun time with the wedding.
He's just sitting there all stoic.
He's like, fuck, I wish I was sitting in that ice bath staring into the forest right now. Right?
He's where's my boiled chicken?
Different between like a Tyson Barrie and a Connor McDavid. Tyson Barrie's like the life of the party. He's so well known. Connor and Lauren are going to invite the who's who of the hockey world there, and Connor's going to be annoyed to have to talk to any of them.
It will be a big wedding, won't it?
Well, it's in Muskoka.
Okay.
So I don't know what the biggest room in Muskoka can hold, but it's not like he's getting married in like the Tabernacle downtown Toronto, 5,000 people type shit. But are they going to let people have phones on them?
That's kind of what I'm wondering. Like, do they lock them in those bags? Like if you're going to a Chris Rock show?
Probably. Connor's going to be annoyed as hell with all these photos.
I also want to know, like, and I'm curious to see if we find the photos that can kind of answer my question. Where's the cutoff with your teammates when it comes to your wedding?
All active players invited?
Do you think it's all active players invited?
Assume.
Well, I don't know. We have this conversation with Tyler. Where's Tyler's cutoff?
He's the captain.
He's got one.
Former junior friends, but not everyone.
No, can't.
Former Oilers, but not all. But all active players, I bet you. Bet you Cal Pickard's there.
See, and I don't know. I don't know that Cal Pickard's there.
I think he would have gotten an invite.
No +1 though.
Well, you got to draw the line somewhere.
Knobloch?
Yeah.
Think he gets the invite? Coach Simon Jr.?
Coach, yeah, maybe.
You know, D. Cates is on the invite list.
Yeah.
The gift is going to be immaculate. No, who knows if he goes, he's going to be immaculate.
The kids will be there.
Yeah, but I can see that.
You want to hear something crazy about the Cates kids that I heard?
Go ahead.
They're both in law school.
Really?
Both.
Good for
the
them.
twins are in law. You know how smart you have to be to produce twins where both go to law school? Fuck, I respect it. Those kids don't have to do shit.
I hold all twins to the same level as the Winklevi.
Arguably,
Come up with the Harvard Connect.
Winklevi, Sedines,
The Olsons.
the Island Boys. These are the great twins of our
Great
lives.
twins of our
And the
generation.
Cates twins, both lawyers. You know who you can't fuck with in 5 years? Either of the Cates twins, who are fully functional lawyers. Jesus
Oh, yeah,
Christ.
that's wild.
Oh man, I laughed when I heard that.
The reason I was thinking about inviting D Cates to the wedding is I saw a video on Instagram, and who knows, or not Instagram, TikTok, who knows how real it was or not, where this couple was getting married and they found every publicly listed billionaire kind of like business address they could and invited them to the wedding. Because a lot of times the assistants just open this shit and be like, and they just send something.
Oh,
So they were just amassing gifts from these random
they were
billionaires.
getting them back?
Yeah. And it was like a percentage that was larger than zero, not like 50% or anything, but larger than zero to the point where I'm like, that's a pretty good idea. You just start inviting billionaires to stuff.
I wonder what Mr. K's would get them. Probably art.
Ooh, I can see a nice
Probably
art.
something classy like a statue or something like that. You know what I mean? That like you can have forever type shit.
Or just like, hey, this is a Jackson Pollock that does not count against the salary cap.
Mr. Cates, yeah, thanks for the Oilers merch. Yay, you're welcome. I got that for you at the Oilers store. You know, because you work for the team. I thought you'd enjoy it.
You got some Oilers bucks with Rick's face on
Yeah,
it.
Lauren's got a new era Oilers hat on. Who else gets them sick presents? Leon probably going to do something.
I bet Leon
What
gets
do
him
you
something
get
good.
the McDavids?
Well, that's going to be a very thoughtful gift. Like Connor's going to get a new hyperbaric chamber or something
You
like that.
can't get him anything from the house because LK1's going to shoot that shit down. She's got every inch of
got
that
a
house
match.
spoken for.
It's got a match.
It's got a motif.
It's
and
got a
there's
fit.
reason.
Yeah.
You can't get them anything that they need because they haven't needed anything since
No, what do you need?
2016.
No.
It's hard.
Maybe like a commissioned painting of
This is
that
why
hug
they go
of
to art.
Draisaitl and McDavid.
Oh,
You know
like
what I
a
mean?
velour dogs playing poker, but it's Connor and Leon
That
all
hug.
around the table, only playing each other, and they only have aces.
That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
Do you think there will be a celebrity performer at the Lauren Kyle wedding? I honestly don't even know that we need Connor to be at this thing. If Lauren just walked down the fucking aisle 7 times in 7 dresses and stood at the front and stunted, I would watch that on HGTV.
I wouldn't be at all surprised if like Chad Kroeger plays an acoustic version of like Photograph or some shit like that. Cause Connor said his favorite band is Nickelback.
That's interesting.
I wouldn't be surprised at all.
I don't think they're doing this to stunt. So I don't know.
But, like,
that they
I don't
would,
think
like,
that's a
bring in
stunt.
Rihanna or like with the uber rich people, like the cavalcade of stars of that Indian wedding.
No, I think that
That's a-
legitimately like Chad Kroeger would be invited to the wedding and be like, oh, could you play an acoustic version of something? And he does.
I will never
Go ahead.
forgive Chad Kruger for being in attendance at game 6 and not singing, fucking saving me. The fuck are you doing here?
That is a disappointing.
Did you see his thing for Deadpool?
No.
They did. So they did this like recording for Ryan Reynolds, and it's all the members of Nickelback shouting out Ryan Reynolds for Deadpool coming out with Wolverine. It's like, as people who take a lot of criticism despite being uber successful, it's really funny.
That documentary, again, I love documentaries on Netflix. The band you love to hate or something like that. It was about Nickelback. Fascinating.
Really?
Because they go through how Nickelback was kind of one of the original memes before memes were really a thing.
What do they pin their hatred to?
Just that they were so oversaturated. Remember that period when like how you remind me, like every time you turn on the radio is on the radio. They kind of pinpointed it to that moment where the stat was, and I'm going to fuck it up a little bit, but like every 3 minutes in America, a Nickelback song was being played on the radio. And they kind of like the oversaturation aspect of it. Wow. And then people turned into like now, oh, they're hating. And then TikTok kind of swung the pendulum the other way. We're like, you know what? Nickelback's actually pretty sweet.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Because the
TikTok
kids,
saved Nickelback?
according
What
to
the
this,
fuck?
well, it like the younger generation is like, I don't understand why people make fun of Nickelback. They're actually pretty good. And they unironically enjoy Nickelback. Like Tyler's seen them a bunch of times.
They're pretty good.
I think they're not my jam, but they got a bunch of great jams.
There's a bunch of bands I feel like that like the Tragically Hip.
Sure.
It's not my shtick.
No, mine
I
either.
recognize how great they are.
Yeah.
Grateful Dead. Not my jam, but I recognize how great they are. Rolling Stones. I don't have anything on my phone, but I recognize how great they are.
Sure.
Saving me, though, before Game 7, the Stanley Cup Finals, chemically changed my brain from hating Nickelback to liking Nickelback. And now I listen to Nickelback. I don't mind it. They're Canadian. You got to get behind the Canadian train, people.
Hannah, Alberta's own.
Remember, it's funny how Edmonton claims them, Calgary claims them,
Vancouver claims them. Yeah.
Get out of here. 604 Records, though. That's their record label.
Still, they're an Edmonton band.
Can you call Hannah on a 604?
No, you can't.
Exactly.
Where is Hannah, Pat? I don't know.
I think it's southeast of here. Could be wrong though.
See, you know that because your brain isn't cluttered with television shows.
Yeah, you're just sitting here raw dogging life.
I did see the documentary on Nickelback though, because they're one of my favorite bands.
See?
And how'd you feel?
Yeah, I think like you said, it's just the oversaturation, and the younger generation wasn't around when they were played 24/7, 7 days a week, right? And they still do that with songs nowadays, but it's like one band, one song, the radio and the internet overplays it, and then they disappear. Whereas Nickelback was like the song after song after song after song, to the point where everyone was like, okay, we get it. So I don't know why people hate them. And I think if it like were to happen again and they just didn't play Nickelback so often, I think everyone would like.
If you get that big though, you get a lot of hate just regardless of who you are.
It's just a funny thing now to hate Nickelback, I think, which is what they mentioned in the documentary.
I also find it just like, how could a band be that big and just be quote unquote awful?
Right.
It's impossible.
But here's why they're
all they do is sell out arenas.
Here's why they're a CIA mind op though. You ready for this?
Go ahead.
If you took Chad Kruger out of the band and took those 3 remaining guys and dropped them in any major population center, not a soul on earth could pick those people out of a lineup. Could you identify any of the members of Nickelback?
I think I could probably.
If they don't have a guitar in their arm and they're not in front of the Nickelback on stage with a big sign in the back says Nickelback.
I think I could recognize the guitarist, the lead guitarist. I think though.
Okay.
I would give it a coin flip.
They all look like federal operatives plus Chad Kruger to me.
They all look like they're accountants or something.
Yeah.
Except Chad Kroger.
And they don't age.
No. The funny thing about the documentary on Nickelback too is just like Chad Kroger's whole identity is Nickelback. That is what it is. Where the other guys are like, no, I have lives. I like golf or whatever. And he goes, I love Nickelback.
Is that what he said?
Yeah, pretty much.
Fuck yeah. It's always sad to see like a band, like it has to be a band that's like 30 years past its prime that's still touring. And the lead singer is like fighting time as hard as they can. And they kicked the bassist out 20 years ago. And they got a new guy who's way younger to bring the average age of the band down. But then there's always like the other guy who hasn't aged a day. And then there's like the drummer who's aged enough for the whole band combined.
You're talking about Motley Crue is what you're
They're
talking
all over
about.
the world. Well, April Wine, like any of these bands coming through town.
Motley Crue kicked out Mick Mars, their original guitarist.
Well, he was like fusing solid though as the band.
But that wasn't why they kicked him out.
Why they kick him out?
I don't remember exactly, but there was some kind of there was some drama there.
Remember he had like a bone condition?
Yeah, his muscles essentially are turning to bone is what's going on.
Give him a break, Mick. Fuck.
Yeah. So then he goes out and says, you know, when we tour live, Vince Neil isn't singing any of that shit. That's all recorded. So then there was all kinds of beef. Tommy Lee, though, is the guy that doesn't age. Still looks great. Yeah. Huge hammer. That's what happens.
That's what happens. All that blood drained down below and you don't have any blood left to age.
See? Science.
It's pretty crazy when Tommy Lee does the upside down drumming.
It is wild. I've seen it a couple times.
That's not a lot of guys got the energy in them to drum upside down.
Yeah, I've seen it a couple times. And there was also another one where I saw Motley Crue at, it would have been Rexall Place, I guess, where he had drum sets kind of like in the roof all over the place. And he was kind of like zipping from one to the other. It's a great show.
Like in the eaves of the arena?
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Yeah. They put on a good show the first time. The last time I saw them, which was the third time I got duped by the retirement tour.
Three different tours tricked you?
I think maybe it was 2. Either way, I got duped more than once. That's the point. And the second time, third time, whatever it was, they were just so bad. I'm like, why am I here?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
They went one tour too many.
Well, at least one. At least one. Millwoods Golf Course is the official golf partner of Oilers Nation. At Millwoods Golf Club, you will find private club conditions for under $100. Greens are always immaculate. Relaxing driver range with music playing and lots of targets. Fully stocked pro shop with lots of local clothing lines. Be sure to follow Millwoods GC for some below par content. The gang over at Millie loves golf, but they also love to have laughs. Their social media is actually pretty good.
They do a good job.
They do a really good job on there. It's one of those businesses where they give you a little chuckle. I'll give them a follow. You know?
Mm-hmm.
You excited about the tournament, Pat?
I am. I don't really know what my role is yet, so I'm excited to find that out.
Do you want to cruise in the car with me all day?
I'm open to whatever. I'll be free that day, so whatever you guys
My
need to
day is arguably one of the best days of everybody because I just get to cruise around in a cart. I got to go bop around, see the whole sponsors, have a couple of cocktails. Sometimes I take swings. Sometimes I just
Celebrity
cruise.
shots.
Sometimes I disappear for an hour and go enjoy something in the chalet.
Sometimes I drive to the parking lot and see if anyone's cars are open. Just try all the doors. Hey, what you doing? I don't know. Working.
So Pat, if you want to think about that,
Sure. I'm
you
open.
come on, you hang out with me on August 30th out at Millwoods Golf Club. Submit your team at nationgear.ca and I
Any
will
teams
tell you,
left?
it's very close to selling out again. We do this every year, people. If you want to join the tournament, please sign up. Or if you want to golf with the boys, submit your bid to Tyler at OilersNation.com. I don't know if Tyler's checking his email. He is on vacation.
He's been gone a long time.
I feel like he's been gone a month. Tyler doesn't like work.
No,
He likes
avoids the
golf.
grind. Yeah,
He likes golf.
he knew all these scandals were going to happen.
Yeah, so he checked out.
Checked
He
out.
dipped. Smart. Predicts the
I wish he
future.
was here to overreact.
Well, I was actually thinking about how I'm going to put like the little podcast description together. And because it's just you and I and Pat, we're allowed to really kind of do whatever we want. Tyler's not here to straighten out the arrows anymore.
This is a throwback to when we used to do in the KGB building.
Yeah.
We used to do the shows out at the Sun Wapta Center. Is that what it was, Baggedmilk?
I don't know.
Where TSN 1260 used to record.
Okay.
And Gregor on the sneak let us have one of the crappy studios they hadn't recorded in 40 years.
Mm-hmm.
We would go in there and all I can remember us talking about is Daddy Longneck.
Daddy Longneck. Yeah, I still follow him on Instagram. He's still kicking.
He's still in it?
He's a lot more tattooed now.
Oh,
He's got some on his face.
he's still doing like porno and stuff like that?
I don't know if he's doing that anymore.
Is Thick Neck guy hanging around?
Thick Neck is back in the mix.
He's out of jail?
He's out of jail. They're
Good
back in the
news.
mix. Gang's all here.
There we go. The watermelon guy getting the watermelon in the tummy, the colon crusher.
Oh, yeah, that guy.
Is he still in the mix?
I haven't seen that guy.
The Supreme Court of whoever these people
Yeah,
are?
yeah. There's a lot of those kind of influencers that have come and gone that have just kind of left my consciousness.
How can you do this beyond a certain amount of time? Like
What is the shelf life for a daddy long neck?
yeah,
It's got to be slim.
unless you're Bad Barbie. Did you see her put out her earnings?
The new earnings?
Like $73 million and $34 million worth of messaging revenue on OnlyFans.
What?
Let me look.
It's like, what? Pat, we got to start an OnlyFans. Not together, separately.
Well, you never know.
That's insane. I can't believe, like, I don't personally know a single person that's openly admitted they've paid for an OnlyFans. So who are these people?
Listen, if you're listening to this and you want to openly admit who you're subscribed to on OnlyFans, I'd love to hear from you.
Because 73 million, just one person. This money's coming from somewhere.
Yeah. Yeah, that's so much money.
Never mind the morality of like, I just turned 18 and 12 trillion people subscribe.
Well, yeah.
Here we go. Bad Barbie. What's crazy is that if you look at this graph, it's going up, not down.
No, it's
She's actually making more money.
yeah.
Since 2020, June 20th, 2021, our girl, your friend, has made $71 million
Woohoo!
on OnlyFans, including $32 million of messaging revenue.
Just like texting.
I won't tell you what she's doing for that money, Pat. She's ranking things. People send something. They say, what you think about this? And she thinks for $50 US, but $30 million of messaging revenue. What the fuck?
I can tell you one thing. My OnlyFans never got to those levels. It's just the one guy. I keep ranking it over and over again.
He's forgotten to unsubscribe.
Yeah. Every on the first of every month.
Your one
$9.99.
follower who went to jail and he can't cancel his credit card from the inside.
$9.99 hits the old account.
You don't need too many OnlyFans subscribers though to make like a noticeable impact on your checking account. Like if you can get 300 people to look at photos of your toes, that's $3,000 a month, Pat.
You got nice toes, Pat?
I have no idea.
There's only one way to find out.
Them, but
You got to put them out there, buddy.
You got to let Japanese businessmen decide.
I wouldn't even be ashamed of that. I guess. Yeah, I don't like thinking about what's happening on the other end of the screen, I suppose. But like, it's just feet.
Yeah.
I don't like. You guys had flip flops on the other day. It's no different.
You
than
could have been
shoes.
snapping sneaky pics and putting them on your foot
I
finder.
don't get the whole foot thing. Where are we looking? Where are we looking? Are we
Yeah,
looking
I
at the
don't
arch?
understand.
Are we looking at the toe?
I'm into the webbing.
Is that what it is?
I don't know.
I don't know where to look. I don't know where to look.
I also have tattoos on my feet, so I'd have to serve like a niche market.
They like that though.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Like, do I have to like cover them with makeup and just have normal looking feet and then I stomp on the ground beef? I don't know what the rules are.
You show me a Sports Illustrated centerfold, I know exactly where to look. I know exactly where to look. I know exactly what to do.
The chapeau, of course.
Nature takes over.
Of course.
These foot photos, though, I don't know where to look.
No, I don't know where to look either. Very confusing. It's very, very confusing. Well, shout out to Bad Barbie. She's doing very well for herself.
Killing it, man.
Gucci Flip Flops is a great song. I'll maintain until I die.
Little Yachty got a $1 million paycheck to write and perform that song with her. And you know where that money came from? OF.
Mm-hmm. Apparently Drake and Lil Yachty have a new song coming out.
Really?
Apparently.
If I was Drake, I would lay low. And then I would drop an album of bangers in about a year. See how his house flooded?
Yeah, I did see that. Yeah, the Toronto rain, the flooding was fucking crazy.
Drake runs the risk of becoming a Nickelback. In that he's so successful.
Yeah.
He can get memed out of his.
Yeah. Yeah.
Jay-Z knew when to stop. Right? And Drake's got these crazy record deals with Atlantic where he has to put out 9 albums every year. Like the guy's dropped 5 albums since 2020.
Yeah, has dropped a lot of music. Some of it very mediocre. Like outside of first person shooter on the last one, I wasn't really a fan of that album.
I'm not really feeling it, man. I love Drake.
Yeah.
But he needs a couple bangers and we'll forget everything.
I do need some bangers.
Lil Yachty's got that. And they're real friends, those two.
Are they?
Yeah. Have you ever seen the there's an interview of Lil Yachty was going to start interviewing celebrities and he did a sit down with Drake and Turks and Caicos.
Oh, that makes sense
Really
why
well
I see
done.
those clips now.
It's really, really well done.
That's why that makes sense why I see those Lil Yachty interview clips.
It sucks because I'm not sure if Drake is like a serial killer or what the fucking situation is, but it sucks because I really do like him. Like in that interview when he's talking to Lil Yachty, I think Lil Yachty's like 26 or something. And he's like, well, I don't really know. I'm only 26. And Drake's like, ooh, you're only 26. He's like, I remember when I was only 26. Like he's a funny guy to talk to. He's really personable. Too bad about all the bodies. We just don't know about them yet.
Yeah.
When they say not like us in that Kendrick song, I take offense. I'm a Canadian like Drake. We're not like you.
Well, that song's a banger though. Overplayed now, but it was a banger.
The beef between the two was very good sonically.
Oh, great music came out of it. Great music came out of it. Euphoria, another banger.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Kendrick, very talented.
Very talented guy.
Interesting that it took a beef with Drake to bring Kendrick bangers back out. Last album didn't have any.
Mad City, like that whole album. That's Good Kid, Mad City.
Yeah.
That's such a good album right off the jump. It's hard to ever
great
back that up. Like you've set the bar so high right off the get-go. It's hard to ever.
Yep. I agree.
That's why you got to come out shitty. Your first album needs to be garbage.
Terrible.
1 out of 10.
Yeah.
On Deezer. And then the next one's a 2. The next one's a 3.
Work your way up.
And then you're dropped by your label. And you got to go on OnlyFans. And then you recoup all your money. You get a song with Lil Yachty. Banger. There it is.
Next portion of the show is brought to you by the Edmonton Stingers. They've got a game coming up on Monday. And let me tell you that tickets start at just $20. Parking's free. Plus, there's a lot of $5 food and beer menu. You get stuff for cheaper than that. I've got my Stingers hoodie on right now. Paid $40 for it.
That's pretty good for a sweater.
Great merch.
Sweaters are going for like 80 now.
It's a great time. Somewhere along the line, we've decided that hoodies are somewhere from $80 to $100 in society. Stingers, they don't subscribe to that.
They don't play that game.
They want you to have an affordable, enjoyable experience. I encourage you to do it. For tickets, go to thestingers.ca. Wanye, did you see the new renderings of the Saddle Dome replacement arena down in Calgary?
Oh, Wienerland? Where losers go to die? Yeah, I saw it all right. I saw it. Looked like a whole hot mess of shit.
I thought it was cool looking, but I guess that's just because I know how bad the Saddle Dome is.
When I saw the scoreboard and they had the gall to put the Flames up on the simulation on the scoreboard, I'm like, that ain't accurate. They're not going to be winning games for a long time.
No, they're going to be terrible. They're going to be really bad. They're like at the beginning of the Affinity build.
And they're going to have Jonathan Huberdeau with them till that arena burns down.
Mm-hmm. When was the last time you were at the Saddle Dome?
2019.
What about you, Pat?
Never been.
Never?
And they're still going to be there next year, right?
I think they probably got what? They haven't even started building. So
It's going to be 2-3
probably
years.
3-4 years.
I got to put that on the bucket list.
You got to go.
Before it's gone.
And you got to sit up in the press level so that you got to get a Sherpa and hike your way up there. It is a hell of a climb to get it to the press level in the Saddle Dome.
But you could argue that it doesn't matter how nice the arena is. If you still have to watch the Flames, the fuck's the point?
Yeah.
What's also sad is the naming nomenclature of Canadian arenas. Rogers, Scotia, Rogers, Scotia, Rogers, and Rogers Scotia Place.
And Edmonton's arena, Rogers Place, was the only place. And now the Flames have to copy us. Scotia Place.
Really?
Mm-hmm. They're always looking at what we're doing up here.
They're like, no, not Rogers Center. Rogers Place. $7 million in consulting fees.
Whew.
What's the other one? Rogers Place, Rogers Center,
Rogers Arena.
Yeah.
Yep.
Are they going to have a cool outdoor viewing area like we have?
I don't know.
The Moss Pit? It doesn't look like it on any of the renderings.
I don't know. I'm happy that they're getting a new arena.
I zoomed in on the renderings. The people in there, though,
Yeah.
those are not authentic Calgarians. Calgarians are ugly. Ugly as hell.
Smell like cheese.
Awful.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
When I go down to Calgary, Pat, I'll bring 6-7 garbage bags of Edmonton air with me, and I'll just huff that Edmonton air the whole time. I don't even like getting Calgary air in my lungs.
Well, I think as an Alberta taxpayer that I'm partially funding this arena, I should be allowed to steal things from the Saddle Dome over the coming years until the new one is built.
Interesting, though, seeing how people in Calgary don't seem to be freaking out nearly as much about that arena getting built like Edmontonians were about ours.
What do you mean?
I don't see the same amount of hatred and vitriol down there for everything and everybody.
I wonder if people have calmed, like now the Rogers Place has been open for a handful of years now. The arena, like the district is getting wrapped up. The Moss Pit is what it is. Are people still mad, do you think?
I don't know. I mean, Mr. Cates did everything he said he was going to do.
Yeah.
And it's half the price of the Calgary Arena when all is said and done.
Yeah. Yeah.
How expensive is that arena going to be?
Oh, it's going to be crazy. Because whatever the estimate is today is going to get inflated significantly as they actually go through the project. I'm also curious to see like what gets cut out as costs increase. Remember like the original renderings for the community rink at Rogers Place? It was supposed to be like individual seating and all kinds of stuff that just didn't really happen.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Remember that was going to be like an outdoor, like a restaurant you could get to from the outside of the arena and sit and watch games. Remember originally?
No, I don't remember that.
I remember that. And there's supposed to be like sushi and all sorts of other like restaurants and shit. That's my beef, a $700 million arena. I'm like, where's the sushi?
But now
And
they got
they're
that
don't
cart-
worry, Wanye, here's a bouncing ball to play with.
Now they got that cart that goes around the main concourse where you take shots of Jaeger though.
That's
Same.
cool.
You know?
Do you wish partially that the Oilers were still playing in Rexall Place?
What I really miss about Rexall Place is the gallery. The gallery was so much fun. You ever go to the game there?
Oh, yeah. I was young, so my memory's not great, but it would be sweet if they, could maintain it to the point of having like one game a year there, something like the Heritage Classic at Commonwealth, but just one game at Rexall.
It's pretty fucked up. We were in the arena.
Yeah, you went in there.
The last media avail. And now, granted, they've let it go to shit at this point. They were letting the SWAT team train in there and shit. So there were bullet casings everywhere, which is cool.
That is cool.
Wow, there's shooting guns in the arena.
If you want to pull some shit and think that the SWAT team hasn't trained in the arena, they have.
Yeah, Rexall Place was
Face
fun.
Off. Or Bane in that Batman.
Yeah, Bane was great.
That was a crazy scene.
It was a good scene. Do you miss Rexall at all?
Yeah, I do. I love the new arena. Don't get me wrong. And I love what it's done for Edmonton. The vision of a downtown arena, moving the heart of the city.
People spilling it out into businesses all over the place.
It is an extraordinarily challenging time to be in business in Edmonton and all around the world in 2024. And what was it, 180 million of the cup run? Is that what they said?
Something like that, yeah.
And then you see that the NFL draft in Detroit was 200 million US, just the draft.
It's a
More
different
money
animal.
made than the cup run in Edmonton.
Just a different
Yoinks.
animal.
However, it did a lot of good for Edmonton to get all the people out and mingling in the moss pit and stuff. Don't you think?
It was great.
Isn't that a healing moment for the city?
I thought it was great. And the fact that Edmontonians, again, pat yourself on the back. No destruction anywhere. A couple of people got arrested for being too drunk in public, which, oh no, 40,000 people downtown. That's all that happened. I think it's pretty good.
Unbelievable.
I think it's fantastic. I'm excited for hockey to come back. At the same point, I'm not.
Yeah. On the other hand, no, I'm not.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like we were talking about football the other day, and now it's all I've been thinking about, but I'm also not ready for it to be football season because I am enjoying the summer.
A lot of people, speaking of which, have been pushing me towards your Dolphins, Pat.
Nice. They're up and coming, as they say.
I'm going to be dragging this decision out like I'm LeBron going to Miami for the next 10 weeks. Yeah.
What was your old team?
I didn't have one.
No team.
So on this podcast, when the boys talk about football, as you do, I tend to zone out.
Yeah.
I do enjoy the sport a lot. I put it on Sundays. I just don't have an allegiance to anybody.
What?
Yeah, I just don't care.
No horse in the race. You just like the running?
That's why I'm going to pick a horse. But I got rules.
Right.
Their merch has to be cool.
There you go.
I want some good players that I can cheer for.
Yeah.
I want a destination city.
Sure.
If they got a cool mascot, that goes a long way. And I also like things that we have here in Edmonton. As an example, going to games in the playoffs, and it's a fucking costume party. So if people are dressed up at games, I feel like akin with them.
Let me add one more column to your grid.
Please.
Who are your celebrity fans?
Ooh, that's a good one.
Who famous likes you? And Miami, if this is the way you're going, A-list celebrity fans.
A lot of A-list celebrity fans. But I do have a problem with the state of Florida after what happened a month ago. Of course, the Oilers lost in Game 7. In
I see.
So I do have a bone to pick with the state of Florida.
Why don't you follow the least enjoyable team in the league, the Cleveland Browns, like Jay does, so that you never have anything to cheer for ever? And you're like, this year, and everyone's like, nope. And then that's the end of it.
Because I'm already an Oilers fan. I've felt that for way too long.
Went to Game 7 of the Cup Finals.
But I remember the before times.
So you might be the Dolphins, eh?
No, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that there's a heavy contingent of fans. Also, there are Packers fans everywhere.
Oh, yeah. Tons of Packers fans.
A lot of pushing from Packers fans, even including sales guy Jared, who works for us. Very much pushing for the Packers.
Do you consider wearing cheese in your head at cool merch?
No, I don't.
Well,
I do love cheese, but not wearing cheese.
So maybe that's
it's not actual cheese, of course.
Could be.
Well,
I don't know what they're up to there.
Who wears the watermelons on their heads? Right?
Saskatchewan.
That's a real watermelon.
Yeah.
That's real.
You're being attacked by bees and flies the whole time.
Do they?
I don't know. I assume so.
You have to think.
You got to think so.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Another way I look at NFL teams is what crimes have you committed in the off season? Are they white collar crimes? You kited a check. Boring. Oh, this guy drove a car on fire through a Girl Guide convention. Now we're talking. That's the kind of defensive lineman I want to cheer for. What crimes have
What kind of shenanigans are?
Well, exactly. Who's guilty of what? What are we covering up as a team?
Pat, let me tell you the list.
Mm-hmm.
The most heavily recommended team so far.
Okay.
Packers number one, easily. Just because I think like there's a lot of Packers fans. I just think that's the thing.
I have a theory that it's because they've got the green and gold going on. Like kind of elks.
And I don't care about that.
No, I know, but I like a lot of kids.
I don't care about that at all.
My age are Packers fans because they were Elks fans growing up.
Okay.
But are no longer Elks fans.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
I've been to an Elks game in a decade.
But that's my theory.
Number two, the Bears. A lot of people pushing for the Bears. They just had the first overall pick.
Caleb Williams?
You know this.
I'm starting to learn, but I don't want to cheer.
They also know my love of Oprah.
Yeah. Chirac, the gang scene's well developed.
Mm-hmm.
You like a good drill scene?
I do love plenty of Kanye music. You know, Obama, shout out to him. Shout out to Chicago. Not a fan of deep dish. More of a lasagna than a pizza. Dolphins, as I mentioned. 49ers, though I don't know that if I'm going to pick the 49ers. They're too good. I can't hitch to a bandwagon, I don't think.
Yeah, that's a tough one. Like I said, I think you can get away with the Niners just because they don't have that stigma yet, but I understand where you're coming from. That's the reason I didn't
Patriots
pick
in the
them.
Tom Brady era.
Yeah, like I can't do it. The other one that the most recommendation was the New Orleans Saints, because they said I wanted to go to a destination city. Their merch is kind of cool, but the team is bad.
But they have some good players.
I can go down there with my beads. Go to Mardi Gras.
That's true.
You're going to bring your own beads?
Of course.
Okay. You might not quite understand how Mardi Gras works.
Well,
you want to catch them by showing all the boys your boobs?
If I can collect them that way.
That's how people get them beads.
At this point, as I mentioned, gained a little weight after the playoffs. I'm a nice A cup now.
Show the boy. Well, that one lady taught us in the stands at the Oilers games. You get the rack out. Anything can happen.
Listen, I got work to do if I want to get
anything can happen.
I got work to do. Anyway, so I'm going to stretch this out over the next couple of months, Pat.
You could maybe look into the Raiders, Vegas.
A lot of people have mentioned the Raiders because I said I love a costume party.
Yep, true. There's that.
But they're also terrible, and I love Vegas.
Devontae Adams is good, though.
Okay.
Once they get a quarterback in there, you never know.
Never know.
You'll watch receiver and you'll probably want to be a Raiders fan.
See, I was going to start watching this weekend.
What about the Carolina
sway.
Panthers? Highlights include nothing.
Mhm.
Notable team, nobody.
Yep. Boring.
Hubbard, Canadian.
Their ticket. Oh, there we go. Their tickets are cheaper than streaming packages. You can go to like a Carolina Panthers game for like $7.
See, I was also thinking about like wanting to go to a game.
Carolina.
So I don't want to fly all the way to Carolina.
What's so cheap? They'll pay you to fly down.
But then that leads for people like, oh, then you should cheer for the Seahawks. I don't know that I want to cheer for the Seahawks.
But you could always watch the Panthers
In Seattle.
in Seattle.
Yeah.
Or go to Carolina to watch any team you want for $7.
Yeah, but
There you
just
go.
next to no
Real,
money.
That's actually not a bad point.
Not a
And
bad
the
point.
Oilers, maybe. Make it a 2-for-1.
Make it a
While you're
two-fer.
in Carolina.
Well, that's
Same.
Season?
No,
You mean?
the Carolina Panthers? Isn't Carolina a state?
Yeah. But is it the north
Carolina
or the
Panthers
south?
in Raleigh?
Ooh.
Ooh, I don't know.
Yeah, I think they are.
Carolina Panthers. Let's find it.
Google gives you back nothing. Eh? They're just like
No.
not worth Googling.
They are in Charlotte, North
How far
Carolina.
is Charlotte from Raleigh? This
All right,
is where
hang
you
on.
fuck yourself. On
Uh-oh.
the detail.
Charlotte to Raleigh.
Not recommended.
Google knows. We're talking about a 2.5 hour drive.
Yeah. So you pull
Yeah.
in to Charlotte expecting to go to a Panthers and then
The baby's from Charlotte.
I'm listening.
Oh, that's all.
Charlotte also rolled out the color teal along with San Jose.
The Hornets
Remember when
merch
the teams
is
got
good.
together and invented a color?
Yeah.
Those are the days, Pat Puff. You should have when they rolled out teal in San Jose, which is a color I'd never seen before. I was like, holy shit. And then the Charlotte team rolled it out. Remember the B?
Yeah.
Damn.
Charlotte Hornets.
Oh,
Come on.
Hornet. Yeah, it wasn't a B. It was a Hornet.
The Charlotte Bees.
When's the last time a team rolled out a new color? Some sort of new version of yellow and orange you've never seen.
I wish I liked basketball because I would like to wear basketball jerseys.
I really want to get a Bronny James Jr. jersey.
Why don't you?
I'm thinking about it.
What color are you going to get?
Yellow.
I might get purple.
I wore a David Robinson jersey to my grade 10 class photo.
Yeah.
And never regretted it once. Just kidding. Regretted it all the time because it looked like a knob.
I
haven't
brought-
had a basketball jersey since then.
I brought my Orlando Magic Shaq jersey with me to Florida for the Stanley Cup Finals. I wore it. Felt legit.
Interesting.
Yeah. I wasn't in Orlando, but that doesn't matter.
That's fine.
It's a Shaq jersey. Who doesn't like Shaq?
Everybody loves Shaq.
I went to the Playmaker HQ studio where he has, well, he didn't go there actually, but they produce his show out of the studio I was in.
You should get like a Shaq Celtics jersey. Like when
Yeah.
he was big Shaq at the end of his career.
Yeah,
And then
tired Shaq.
he they didn't pay him and he let them keep the money. He's like, I didn't earn it. That's the Shaq you want to celebrate. Celtic Shaq.
I posted something on Instagram the other day of just the random collection of Oilers jerseys I found through the playoffs.
Oh, I saw that. The unicorns.
Man, I love unicorns.
Me too. People shouldn't feel bad if you get a jersey of a player who's traded because it's a moment in time.
Yeah. And the more obscure the Oiler, the more I like it.
I agree.
Like there was that guy, I couldn't believe my eyes when I saw a Timu Hardakainen jersey. Who bought that?
Yeah, and this is a good tie-in for Wanye. Is my buddy's got a Yakupov jersey. He just loves it, and every time he wears it, he
Victory?
gets so many comments.
Yes.
Every person he walks by, nice jersey, nice jersey, nice jersey. He's like, why would I ever wear anything else?
Everybody loves a Yak jersey.
I don't want to flex, but have you ever heard of Oilers Nation?
Never heard of it.
Have you ever heard of Neil
Actually, I
Yakupov?
printed off thousands of articles and I put them in binders.
Green binder, blue
Yeah, yeah.
binder, yellow binder.
Mhm.
Well, Neil Yakupov today on his IG stories is wearing an Oilers Nation hat.
Come on.
And I damn near fell out of my chair.
Come on.
He is like the OG with the green underneath. I don't know how the hell he got it. He's in the Urals of Russia. He's 52 time zones over.
How would he have ever got
I
that?
don't know.
Did we give him a hat that day he was at Little Brick?
When he wore the space pants? Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe.
That's the only thing I could think of.
Maybe. The fact that he has it with him still, I respect. I couldn't
do
believe
respect. I can't believe it now. I need to see the photo.
it. Kennedy and I are going to make an ad out of it
As we should.
saying Nation Gear as endorsed by Nail Rail
Yes.
Yakupov,
Uh-huh.
KHL champion.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Fuck, that's cool.
You don't suppose Lauren Kyle wear Nation Gear on her wedding day, do you?
I don't see why she wouldn't. She's already got 7 dresses. Why not mix a hoodie in there? Get a little cold in the evening?
You can't wear 7 dresses over the course of one day. That has to be like there's a dinner on the Thursday. There's a wine and cheese.
Oh,
on
I
the
thought she was
Friday.
going to like J-Lo outfit change several times throughout the day.
Maybe. But could you even wear 7 dresses in a single day if you tried? I don't
Come
know.
on. I think she could. I believe in her. let's say the wedding day itself is, 16 hours long. Every 2 hours and change, you change dresses.
Wouldn't you want the same dress you're coming down the aisle to be the same dress you take your photos in, the same dress you're up to the head?
Sure, that period, yeah. But then when it's time for the ceremony afterward, outfit change. New dress because she wants to dance.
Isn't that?
Her and the wags.
She'll dance?
Of course.
Oh my God.
Her and the wives, they're going to dance. Of course they're gonna
Connor's
dance.
sitting in an ice bath out back. He's like, leave me alone. I did the thing you wanted. Leave me be.
Yeah.
He's like, all right, Connor's in the back. We can have fun now.
Yeah. They got Cam McDavid dressed like Connor and he has to dance.
She marries Cam by accident because he sends Cam to do it.
Yeah. It all makes sense. Pat, I want to talk a little betting.
Sure.
As we wind down the podcast. I'm amazed that we got through an hour as easily as we did.
It's not hard. We've got all sorts of theories.
The betting segment is brought to you by Bet365, proud partner of the Nation Real Life Podcast. Open an account with Bet365 today and bet on a huge range of markets. So whatever the sport, whatever the moment is never ordinary at Bet365. Use the promo code OILYBONUS. Use the promo code OILYBONUS. Pat, we're going to be talking a little betting, so I want to go to the Olympics. The Olympics are coming up.
Summer or winter?
Summer, as far as I can tell.
Okay, go ahead, caller.
When does that kick off, by the way? Do we know?
Summer.
Mm-hmm.
We're close.
It
Celine
is.
Dion's in the streets of Paris fucking waving to fans, so we can't be far off.
I wonder who's going to carry. Does Canada get somebody cool to carry the flag? I wonder. Because LeBron's carrying the U.S. flag.
You don't think it's Lauren Kyle, one of her 7 dresses?
I'm not saying it's not.
Olympic. Remember when the Queen jumped out of the helicopter with James Bond? Before
No.
the London Olympic? What?
No.
Daniel Craig.
Did you
Listen to this. Daniel Craig shoots this intro. They're in London for the Olympics, and it's him inside Buckingham Palace. And he does the sketch with actual Queen Elizabeth. And they get into a helicopter.
Oh, yes, I have seen this. Yeah,
and
yeah.
they go, and then the Queen's double jumps out of the helicopter. This was her request. And then the Queen walked out in the London ceremony. Unbelievable.
Speaking of which,
That, Lauren Kyle, no Daniel Craig, Chad Kruger.
okay, I'm in.
Lauren
I'm
Kyle
in.
jumps out, lands. Connor comes, potentially shoots the flame in, does the scoop celly. All the people in France are confused. Who's Connor McDavid? This is the Summer Olympics. What's going on? That's the opening ceremony.
I can see Connor ripping a wrister from across the rink or stadium toward the Olympic torch, lighting it. Everybody celebrates.
You know, remember when Atlanta had the Olympics and they shot that arrow into the cauldron and that lit the flame?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
that was something else. Were you too little for that, Pat?
Oh yeah.
You've never
96.
seen maybe a highlight of it?
There was 2, so I
It was
don't remember.
Peak America. They brought this guy out. He's an archer. He's got the stars and stripes tracksuit on, slick as fuck. Nailed this shot, lit the Olympic cauldron from thousands of yards away.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. Can we bet on archery?
Can you bet on Lauren Kyle?
Doesn't look like I can bet on archery, Wanye. At least not that I can find.
Who is the favorite?
Bet365.
What?
Bet365, you can bet on almost everything, but I don't know that I can bet on archery.
Who's the top Belarusian discus champion?
Well, I have been looking at discus because I do love the discus throw. Currently favored, Mikolas Alekna, minus 134. Now, where is he from? I don't know.
Tell me about the hammer throw odds. Who am I looking at?
Hammer throw. Let me see
That's
if I can
a
find
sport of king. They spin around, and that's pretty much it.
that. All right, here we go. Got the hammer throw. The favorite is Ethan Katzberg at minus
Political.
250. Next up is Wolchek Nowitzki at plus 275. Which event do you think you could not embarrass yourself the most at?
None.
But you got to pick one.
I think I would embarrass myself in the opening ceremonies where all the athletes just walk around in tracksuits. They'd be like, why are all those red tracksuits together? And then there's a blue one in there. It's like, oh, Wanye got lost. He's there with Lithuania. I think I would excel in the Olympic Village sexathon after the Olympics. I think that's where I would really do my best, where everyone's like, I just won the discus. It's time to party. Let's go. That's where I would clean up.
I want to talk about hockey for real.
Field or ice?
Ice. So our Stanley Cup odds have not changed for the Edmonton Oilers, Wanye.
What happened to the Olympic talk?
Well, actually, because you know what? I'm looking at these names. It doesn't tell me where they're from. How am I subscribing and betting on someone if I don't know where they're from?
Are you only betting on flag? You're just betting on the country of origin?
Yeah, I want to win.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, go on.
I want to win. Our odds for the Stanley Cup have not changed, Wanye. We like to put a bet on the Oilers, but they're still currently plus 800 at Bet365.
Even the events of the last 48 hours didn't change our cup odds?
Didn't change it. Didn't change it. What about the President's Trophy, Pat? Plus 600 odds for the Edmonton Oilers. They are favored. Next up, the Florida Panthers plus 750, the Dallas Stars plus 800. Would you bet on the Oilers to be the best regular season team in the NHL?
Oh boy. You're going to put me in jail like Waz.
Still in there, by the way.
You predicted Dallas was going to win. Maybe not.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe not. I think there's a good couple teams there in the East that I don't know if we have what it takes to win an 82 game season outright.
I also think the East has an easier path to getting to the President's Trophy.
And I believe we have the fourth hardest schedule, something like that this year. But I don't think that means anything when it comes to the Stanley Cup.
How can that be the fourth hardest schedule? Don't we all play the same teams?
I think the West is just, to me, the teams at the top of the West are better than the teams at the top of the East. And I think that plays a factor in it. I think. How about this, Pat? Connor McDavid over 129.5 points.
That's the over. Jesus.
Over is minus 110, under is minus 110. So it's basically like, huh? The last 2 seasons, he cleared it by 5. At least 5.
And he was injured.
Didn't score the goals we thought he would. Still got 100 assists last year, though.
No small feat.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I might go on the over on that one.
Life's too short to bet the under.
I mean, the odds aren't great if they're negative, but minus, negative, doesn't matter.
I don't think so.
But yeah, I think so. I would like to think at post-successful surgery, he can get more goals this year. And why not?
No surgery.
He's not actually in the surgery, I don't think.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just give
recovery.
It up. That's why he's in that ice bath all the time. Just freezing it up.
They're like, oh no, you don't need surgery. You just need ice water.
He's like,
Okay.
I'm in. No problem.
Sure. Why not?
Watch me live in there.
Imagine he's just wheeled down the aisle in his ice bath.
Just the top of the tuck sticking out of the ice water.
Okay, this isn't an over-under bet, but do you think Connor's going to wear a bow tie or a straight tie? Will he wear a tuxedo to his wedding?
Yeah, I'm saying tuxedo.
Bow tie?
Yeah, bow tie. I think he's going to look real sharp too.
Not skinny Men in Black suits?
No, I think he's going to go bow tie.
He's not going to wear that ratty-ass suit from the Cup Finals, is he?
I don't think so. But I think bow tie, nice tux, sharp shoes, monocle.
Monocle. What I'm looking forward to is the photo LK1 will put on her Insta stories.
Can't wait.
Black and white. The MC's telling a joke. All the gals are laughing. All the guys are rolling their eyes. And then there'll be a black and white photo of Connor leaning forward, laughing and doing his real smile. And she likes to include these photos that humanize him.
No, you know what it's going to be this photo? I can see it now. It's going to be them doing the first dance, tete-a-tete, the foreheads touching, black and white, forever with you, or something like that is the caption. I can see it.
What's their first song?
Probably Tipsy by Jaquan.
La Bamba. Eh?
Come on. They're both winners, at least in my opinion. They're both winners.
Poor Connor.
I want to ask you one more bet, Pat.
Sure.
And Wanye. The Pacific Division. The Edmonton Oilers are favored to win the Pacific Division. Would you agree with that?
I like that one. I can get behind that.
Yeah.
Plus 160. Are those odds juicy enough for you?
I mean, anything plus is pretty good.
What does that mean? Explain for the rest of us that don't have monocles.
So if it's plus 100, that means you double your money. So you put in $1, your profit is $1.
So you put in one, you get back two.
That's right.
Go on.
Anything north of plus 100 just means that juice coming back is tastier. As
So
a
150, I'd put in $1 and I would receive back $3.50, $2.50.
So in this case, $1, you put in $1, you get $1.60 back. So
Plus
$2.60.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So are those odds juicy enough? It does take some luck to win the Pacific. I do feel like the Oilers have the skill and the talent to do so. But would you place your own hard-earned dollars, Patrick Puff, on the Edmonton Oilers to win the Pacific Division at plus 160?
Yeah, I think they're juicy enough. I think it's worth the risk.
I like it. How about the San Jose Sharks at plus 20,000?
$1 couldn't hurt though.
I mean, if it hits,
Like
it's like when that Australian.
20,000?
Yeah.
And I'm not a numbers man. Is that good number?
So I'm going to log into my account right now. Just like we'll play around with that odd just because it's fun. Plus 20,000. Why not? If you were to put $1 on that, you would get $201 back. Wow. Mm-hmm. There you have it. Oilers at plus 160. If you put $100 down, you're getting $260 back. I would do it. Not $100. Right. That's too rich.
That's not bad.
Unless I could hack into Jay Downton's betting account and then I would spend all his money on it.
He betted on the Browns.
Mm-hmm.
Not a cent to be found.
No, not a cent to be found. It's all the Browns.
That Caleb Williams in Chicago runs the risk of being an enormous bust.
Why?
Because he's talking huge game about how wicked he is.
Is that what he's doing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's talking Hall of Fame Tom Brady shit. And they're like,
Cool.
I don't know about that, Caleb Williams.
Yeah, that is an interesting play. Where I think of Connor McDavid, generational talent. Remember when he got drafted, he goes, I just hope I make the team.
Well, this is it. He without kissing ass, befriended all the vets with his humble ways.
Yeah.
Caleb Williams not doing that.
No, but that's not football though. They've like got a lot of more boisterous personalities. It's a lot more fun to watch the personalities in football, I think.
Oh, I agree.
You know, if Connor McDavid had come out and be like, I'm the fucking best playboy, buy my jersey or you're a sucker. I would have loved it.
We don't want our hockey players to show any emotion.
No.
Or personality.
No.
In unrelated news, how do we market the game?
Yes. By being as boring and bland as possible.
Cooper Marody put out a song, for God's sakes, and we couldn't keep him up at the big club.
Mm-hmm. Where's Cooper Marody these days?
He's dead.
Is he?
He has. It was career.
Oh, no. Last year he played with the Lehigh Valley Phantoms. I don't know who they belong to.
No, I feel really bad. I thought he was in the A.
He is in the A.
Oh.
Yeah, he's in the A. I just don't know.
The whole league moved to California.
I just don't know who this team belongs to. Like who doth you hail from? I don't know. Pat, do you know?
No, I don't.
It might be it might be the Philly farm team. Anyway, go ahead.
Will Cooper Marody eventually open up his own Dollyland, where it's a physical testament to his long singing career?
Marodyville. Yeah. It's like Margaritaville, just less fun. Yeah.
You said NBA. I think it was an NBA player. Maybe it'd been NFL. He put out a song, video, the whole thing. It was about his girlfriend leaving him. Did you see it? Oh my God. No, everybody was just like, you bitch. Like the song is terrible. And it's just like, my girlfriend left me, even though I'm a pro athlete. It's not supposed to be like this. It's so hilariously awful. Let me look.
Well, self-owning is, it's a move.
Mm-hmm.
It's a move. Well, what do you got over there, Wanye? Did you find it?
I'm looking. You know how the fucking Wi-Fi is.
You know, another thing that's just like awful to be on social media, and it just understandably because it just sucks to watch.
Oh, Oilers Twitter for the last 24 hours?
No, what's going on in Jasper?
Oh,
yeah.
It is like the pictures and the videos coming out of Jasper are just nuts. Yeah. I love Jasper. Yeah. One of my favorite places on earth. So devastating. See, like half the town's gone.
Yeah. And then it puts into perspective, like we complain about the smoke.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, yeah, there's a reason for that. Smoke.
Yeah. Now Jasper's gone.
Yeah.
Fucked up.
How much of it's lit up?
Danielle Smith spoke to the media earlier and she said it could be anywhere from 30 to 50% of the town.
Main Street?
Wow.
I don't know.
JPL
was at risk last night at 10 o'clock as of the latest update from the Fairmont Jasper Park Lodge. We were just there in January for the hockey tournament. And just to think that it's crazy.
Was it on fire at the time?
No, it was quite cold. Quite cold.
They never seem to have forest fires in the winter. Maybe we could try having winter year round. It's just an idea. Just spitballing.
Well,
no summer.
It's been so hot. Like even the grass in my neighborhood, it's all crispy.
Yeah, it's all yellow.
It's all yellow grass. So like the fact that it's raining today is actually quite nice. I'm wearing a hoodie today, not just because this room's cold.
Yeah.
The summer Edmonton hoodies come out. Hey, so funny.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Did you find the song?
20 degrees. Oh no, the Wi-Fi is too terrible.
Pro athlete breakup song. I'm Googling.
There might be a few.
The video's black.
Is it Kelsey Plum?
Is it a black and white video where he's wearing a white t-shirt and he's trying to look all sad?
Oh no, Kelsey Plum is a basketball player.
I don't know if it was NBA or NFL. This is happening.
Former NFL star Darren Waller.
Keep going.
finally opened up about the controversial music video he released earlier in the year, which many believe is his breakup song with ex-wife and current Las Vegas Aces star Kelsey Plum.
That's the one. That's the worst song I've ever heard, if you're wondering. That's it. Cooper Marody should be given a Grammy just because he's an athlete with a song so much better than another athlete with a song.
It's no Shaq Fu.
2 platinum albums are Shaquille.
Do you ever watch that Shaq documentary that's on?
Yeah, I did after you told me to watch
so
it.
good.
Super good.
He's fucking awesome.
It's sad to me. Like, have you ever seen him talking about Kobe dying and then his sister died and like he's like sad in his old? It's sad to me because he's such a
jovial character.
Yeah, bombastic dude.
Yeah.
Seeing Shaq sad. What do you think's gonna happen inside the NBA going off the air?
I can't imagine that they let it die. Like, wouldn't Bezos want to scoop that up?
Well, this is a 2-part question. Do you think that they maybe, because TNT matched the Amazon offer for TV rights and then they still picked Amazon? You think that's because Bezos is buying the bloody Celtics?
I mean, it couldn't hurt. Bezos is selling stonks.
God, he's on a victory lap.
He's all jacked now.
Oh, he's like got that blood boy and the roids and this roided out girlfriend and everyone's just so fly.
It's funny now that Jeff Bezos is Jeff Bezos now because I was reading about him recently and Amazon was already a multi-billion-dollar company and he was still driving around in like a Ford Taurus.
Yeah, the Honda Accord.
Honda
Accord.
The
interview with him where they're like, why do you drive this? He's
That's
like,
a reliable car.
Now he owns a Washington Post for fun.
Yeah. And he's just on a 150-foot yacht just because that's his boat to the other yacht.
Yeah, that's his dinghy to get out to his real yacht, which is made of platinum.
Yeah.
That's cool, though. It's cool to see a guy live it up like that.
He does. And I also like to see Cool Zuck these days.
I saw the AI. You did an AI interview from Lake Tahoe. Did you see it with Bloomberg?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's pretty funny.
Yeah. I also like the AI generated images he made of himself where he's like, cool guy Zuck with all the chains.
Yeah.
Hilarious.
In the beginning, when she asked him about the Zuckassance, did you see that? And he's like, what's that? And they're like, the Zuck Renaissance. He's like, oh, that what people were saying? And she's like, yeah. He's like, no, okay. Like he wasn't thrilled with it.
I'd love to know what the decision was in his mind to be like, all right, I'm going from t-shirt jeans guy. I'm going to go hire a stylist and now I'm going to be cool.
I think a team of 150 people workshop all these different possible looks. And then
all these looks are good though. He's got the long t-shirts.
It's a cool dog tag. Is there 4 stones for the 4 members of his family on the dog tag?
I don't know what he's got.
I'm thinking that's what it is.
He's got the long hair now. Cool guy Zuck, Pat.
Cool. He's drinking a Coors Light.
Come on.
That's my boy.
He's in a tuxedo with the bow tie, America flag. Fuck yeah.
Do you think he looks at Bezos and he's just like, look at that guy just living it up?
I hope Zuck gets shredded.
He's setting a good example for the other world titans of like.
I hope he gets shredded. Shredded Zuck is the next phase.
He's pretty ripped, man.
I want swole Zuck.
MMA Zuck, when he was there with those guys and they were all dapping up and doing hugs and shit, he's pretty jacked. Remember when Elon was wanting to fight him?
Yeah, you don't want to do that.
Ill-advised.
Elon brought that up again like 2 days ago.
Did he really?
Yeah.
Don't do that shit, Elon.
No. Zuck says, we can go there again if you want.
Is that what he said?
Yeah, it was something on Threads.
Remember, it was funny though when he was trolling him, said he went to his house and nobody answered the door. Like, give me a break. Good times.
Anyway, there you have it. Pat, any final thoughts?
No, I think we covered everything.
Okay. Wanye, final thoughts?
My queen marries this weekend. I'm just saying, LK, don't even bring Connor to the ceremony.
He doesn't even
walk up and down the aisle numerous times in your different dresses, sashaying and slaying it for the guests.
Just like maybe flat Connor, like a cardboard cutout, and just kind of wheel him around. That's all he needs.
That's all he needs.
You know? Mm-hmm. Little projector speaker on the say the I do's and the vows.
You think Connor will maybe just grace her with a nice word or two in a speech? Like, Jesus Christ.
You're pretty cool, babe.
Hey, we've been through a lot. Remember when we went to the Cup Finals and then I had to go sit in that ice bath? Thanks, babe. This is why she deserved all 7 of those dresses.
Thanks for looking after Bernie when I'm gone.
Yeah. Suppose we're going to have some kids one day. I can't help you much with those. Good luck.
You are the secondary assist in my life. All right. There you go. There's a podcast. Enjoy the weekend, everybody. We'll be back with other people probably next week. Maybe.
Let's go.
What's up, Nation citizens? If you like that video, then you need to be subscribed to the Oilers Nation YouTube. Podcasts, live shows, exclusive interviews, and analysis. Everything you need from your favorite voices at Oilers Nation. And you don't want to miss any of it, so hammer that subscribe button.